What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao. Thanks for joining us here for the news. Taiwan is strongly protesting a decision by Cambodia to deport potentially more than 100 Taiwanese citizens to China following their arrest for fraud. Chris Gorin is at the Foreign Ministry with more.
What happened to the Taiwanese citizens arrested in Cambodia and sent to China? That's what the Taiwanese government wants to know, but can't seem to get answers. Nearly 200 Taiwanese citizens were arrested in relation to alleged telephone scam centers in Cambodia 2 weeks ago. On Sunday and Monday, 190 suspects that included both Chinese and Taiwanese nationals were deported to China. But Taiwan says they were not given a list of names or even told how many of those deported are Taiwanese.
有关本案确切涉案国人的人数资讯，目前住处持续和检方交涉中，政府也将透过两岸机制来了解。同时，外交部要再次呼吁国人，切勿心存侥幸，赴海外从事包括电信诈骗在内的不法行为。
Taiwan says these scam operations often involve human trafficking, with citizens lured abroad by fake job offers and forced into criminal activities. Taiwan estimates around 600 Taiwanese citizens allegedly involved in transnational scams have been deported to China in recent years, and officials worry this reflects increasing Chinese pressure to enforce its One China principle abroad. This incident comes as Chinese President Xi Jinping prepares to visit Cambodia this week. Now, Taiwan says it's attempting to work with China through previous agreements on cross-strait crime, and that it's continuing to press China and Cambodia for answers. John Su and Chris Gorin in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
A retired U.S. four-star general, Robert Abrams, is rumored to be advising Taiwan's largest annual military war games. This news has sparked a lot of interest in local media. But Taiwan's military is downplaying the speculation, saying exchanges with the U.S. are nothing new and they're part of its regular annual planning. Hanoi has more.
These are images taken of Taiwan's largest computerized war game. For 2 weeks, the country's most senior military leaders are gathering in secret and simulating all aspects of their plan to defend the country against an attack from China.
Maybe one computer. We're going to have to start.
But local media are now speculating that a retired four-star general from the U.S. is also part of this group, serving as a consultant to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Responding to the rumors, Taiwan's Defense Ministry says that military exchanges between Taiwan and the United States are carried out normally according to annual plans. They're maintaining consistency and won't be commenting on individual cases. While the U.S. and Taiwan do not have official ties, Washington does provide weapon systems and training to Taipei to support Taiwan's overall defense strategy.
Almost all of the retired general and flag officers today will have had meaningful leadership experience in Iraq and Afghanistan. Again, this is not the first time that delegations of U.S. military officers, retired and active duty, or diplomats or scholars have gone to Taiwan. My sense is that they have been saying the same basic things for many, many years. As I have argued elsewhere, these haven't really resulted in changes.
Over the past 3 years, Taiwan has been reforming its defense strategy, stepping up its training in quality and quantity. In the past 12 months, Taiwanese soldiers were spotted in Oklahoma training on U.S. weapon systems. And 2 months ago, a name tag of a representative of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command was seen next to Taiwan's defense minister during a high-level defense meeting. And now, if the U.S. has in fact sent this former general to advise on Taiwan's war games, analysts here say it could be a key step in helping both sides align their strategies in the event of a conflict.
担任总长顾问的话，他当然能够全程的来观察这个总长他面临各种处境或者是他处置的状况，那可能会比以前担任观察员看得要全面要深入，可以提供很多联合作战的概念跟想法。
Taiwan has been boosting its arsenal and buying billions of U.S. dollars worth of U.S. weapons to prepare for a possible conflict with China. Many of these systems have already started to be delivered. But analysts say weapons supply and training from the U.S. doesn't indicate Washington's level of support for Taiwan if it were attacked.
So I think we are seeing serious improvements. I do think it is important to put context around all of this, which is to say that at the end of the day, I don't know that this indicates a clear American commitment because a decision like that in a crisis still rests entirely with the President of the United States.
The computer games are expected to continue until April 18th, and live fire exercises are scheduled for the beginning of July. With continued U.S. assistance, Taiwan's goal is to create an effective defense, ensuring its strategy is fully tested and able to withstand whatever aggression it might face. Luffy Lee and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
A cross-party delegation will head to the U.S. later this month for trade talks as new tariffs loom. Democratic Progressive Party legislator Waning announced the list of 17 delegates from Taiwan's 3 main political parties. U.S. President Donald Trump last week paused a 32% tariff on Taiwanese exports for 90 days. Taipei officials are now hoping to minimize the impact on key industries like semiconductors. Taiwan's economy minister says the government is also running simulations to gauge how the tariffs could impact the chip sector. Yangmingshan National Park officials say a fire that burned through the scenic area on Monday was likely caused by a faulty air quality sensor. The fire burned for 5 hours, scorching about half a square kilometer. Fire officials say a lack of nearby water sources made it harder to put out. Some people hiking in the area say they watched it spread.
准备要登山的时候，我就看到开始在靠近那个太阳能的一个灯的位置，就开始有一点小火，就开始飙出来了。大概3到40位登山客已经开始在下着山。
No injuries have been reported from Yangmingshan. A new art exhibition in Taipei is raising awareness of Hong Kong's struggle for democracy and of Beijing's crackdown in response. It comes as Taiwan is re-examining its relationship with Hong Kongers nearly 5 years after massive anti-government protests in the territory. Rick Lau reports.
An expression of Hong Kong's dwindling press freedom. Origami made from one of the last ever pro-democracy newspapers in the city, now on display in Taiwan. Part of an exhibition showing how Hong Kong stood up to Chinese rule and demanded democracy, and how Beijing brutally cracked down. Protest art like this could see Hong Kongers put in jail for subversion in their city. Organisers say free and democratic Taiwan has a responsibility to tell Hong Kong's story.
虽然中国并没有统治台湾，但是中国影响香港的方式，其实一定程度上还是影响了台湾。所以这也是台湾社会为什么要举办这样的展览，或者是跟香港朋友一起去面对一个独裁的政权一样。
Taiwan could face a fate just like Hong Kong's. China also claims Taiwan as its territory and threatens to take it by force. Many people here saw Hong Kong's struggle as their own, supporting the city's pro-democracy activists as they stood up to the Chinese Communist Party. And when Beijing moved to suppress them, many dissidents found refuge in Taiwan. Taiwan's relationship with Hong Kongers is changing. Since the 2019 protests, the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, has tightened its grip on Hong Kong, dismantling a once free press and independent legislature. And Hong Kongers in Taiwan are now being looked at with greater suspicion.
When the revolution of our time started, Hong Kongers were seen as a defiance of CCP. It is our sad fate that the identity of Hong Kong is slowly changing and manipulated by the CCP.
Taiwan is mulling stricter immigration rules for Hong Kong citizens, something it says is necessary to crack down on Chinese espionage.
There may be some national security concern in certain cases, and government they need more time to review it. And it would be also very important for Taiwanese government to restore the confidence in the Hong Kong immigrants.
Trust is low among Hong Kongers. The city's artists travel to Taiwan in secret to share their art, careful not to reveal their identity even here, knowing the long reach of the Chinese Communist Party. This exhibition is a show of support for Hong Kong's struggle against Beijing. But as the Communist Party tightens its grip of the city, Taiwan is also having to re-examine how it treats those from Hong Kong. Easton Chen and Rick Lowett for TaiwanPlus.
Vietnam has signed dozens of deals with China during Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to Hanoi. After holding talks with Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and Communist Party General Secretary Do Lam, the two countries agreed to strengthen ties in production, supply chains, and transportation. The talks come amid ongoing tariff tensions with the U.S., with Beijing hit with duties of 145% and Hanoi of 46%. She addressed the U.S.'s measures in an editorial published in both Vietnam and China, saying, quote, "There are no winners in a trade war or a tariff war." The Chinese leader is set to visit Malaysia and Cambodia next. In Shanghai, a K-pop experience center is offering fans a taste of stardom, and people are lining up to live like an idol for a day. Zalan Shata reports.
Lights, camera, action. Tucked behind a side door in a Shanghai gym, fans come to sign imaginary autographs and play dress-up, just like their K-pop idols. But this isn't just a dress-up session. It's an idol experience center, set up for everyday people to step into the world of their favorite stars, if only for a moment.
因为小时候当时是想跳舞的话，然后也想说，就是长大以后能类似于去发展一下这样的一条道路。但是可能长大以后，爸妈就是会更希望你去做一些能赚钱的道路，对吧？然后就把你的有些小时候喜欢的东西扼杀在这个摇篮里了。
This is a world first. Opened just last year, the Chang'o Experience Center offers more than 200 outfits and diverse sets, all designed for fans to live out their K-pop fantasies. An idyllic classroom inspired by Korean reality TV shows, a meet and greet setup, and even a backstage setting, all waiting to be brought to life on camera.
因为我自己就是很喜欢韩国 idol， 然后我本来是想只是做一个教室的景的，后面我又做了签售会的景，又做了后台的景，然后不断延伸。我觉得那我所有的景都是跟 idol 主题有关的，那我就可以直接开一个集合了 idol 体验的一个体验馆。
China first caught the K-pop wave in the late 90s, calling it Han Fever. But things changed in 2016. When South Korea deployed a U.S. missile defense system to counter threats from North Korea, China clapped back. They banned all K-pop performances and heavily limited South Korean television programs, citing that they flouted correct beauty standards. But that didn't stop fans from keeping up. Some flew overseas for concerts. Others found ways around the online restrictions. These days, acts like Blackpink and BTS, and titles like Squid Game and Parasite are widely recognized, reaching fans across China, despite the ban.
日常生活中，你也不可能说特地去为了这个去准备一些服装啊、服饰啊，然后去特地去拍摄。但是这边就是很好的，就是他给你造了很多的景，然后你也可以换衣服，也可以自己去组装一些饰品啊什么的，去完成一下，就是自己对自己当 idol 这个梦想的想法。
More than just lights and makeup, this experience aims to provide a sense of belonging. In a country where connecting with K-pop idols is still restricted, imagination becomes the bridge between fan and fantasy, with even more immersive events in the works.
然后舞台的话，它会做一个投影，就是你拍到投影里面的自己，那可能会更有那个体验感。就你真的自己出现在一个大屏幕上，那你可能更有你真的出道了的那种体验感。
This unique idea is now drawing fans from abroad, with Russian, Japanese, and even South Korean visitors stepping in to live out their fantasies. And the dream is only growing. The owner plans to double the space, making room for more fans to have their moment in the spotlight. Scott Wang and Zalan Shata for TaiwanPlus.
And thanks for joining us today for What's Up Taiwan. Follow us on social media to get more of our news updates in your feed. Finally, check out pop singer Katy Perry and other members of her all-female crew on their brief spaceflight. I'm Eric Gao. We'll see you next time.
1, 2.